Yeah, good day. This is my assignment on W03 scenario on database administration. The first question is the owner of the company asks some security questions. So you say what is the window authentication? Already window authentication, from what I've learned this week, is used for authenticating the user. It will be the same login as the user as they use to access their window, while SQL Server authentication is more of login. It's more for logins to just SQL, not Windows. So it means you will have to have a separate password to use those two accounts. Then explain the difference. The difference between window the difference between authentication and authorization. Authentication verify identity by the user. I'm doing video. Authentication identify the user. Authentication verify the identity by the user providing username and password before he logs in, while authorization focus on what the user is allowed to access. So that's the difference between authentication and authorization. Then what will happen if you grant a permission on a table to the fixed database role called public? If I do that, it will be dangerous. It will be dangerous. Honestly, it will be dangerous. As a database administrator, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to. This could be dangerous, yes, because grant fixed rule to user predefined rule which give access to those that shouldn't have access. Best practice is to do all the user permission and assigning roles before giving SQL login credential to this to each individual. So it will not be right to give a fixed access permission to a user. So now the scenario 2 creates a two new schemas for bowling database and more for an additional database of your choice. So what I did in that scenario was that yes, I created this schema. If I run this query now, it will show that it already exists. So that's that. So and then I also created additional schema for recipe, that is the ingredients and recipe. So for the bowling league example, I created two schemas, member DB and game. So let's check let's see under the second scenario, be part of it. Transfer the table in bowling database and your choosing database out of DBO, as database owner schema, and into 4 new schemas. So what I was able to get there is this is a bowling league example. So I transfer the DBO to member.bowler score. So these are the 4 schema that I alter. Then this is the one for game, which I alter too. Then on the database, I choose that of my choice, which is recipe database. I also alter these two, the one for ingredient and the one for recipe. So if let me take this to this side. If we check, I think I need to adjust this a bit. So if my time is running, let me see if I can. Okay, under this 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 is the new DB I created, the new schema, recipe 1, recipe 2. There's under recipe example, then under entertainment agency, under entertainment agency, let me check the next scenario. Create 4 new login and map them to each database. To each database, issue a grant command that gives select rights to a schema. So on this scenario, what I did, create four logins, 2 for recipe and 2 for boolean boolean database. So I started with creating using this to run the query first. Then this is the two login I created, Bulas 1 and Bulas 2, which sorry, let me refresh that. I created okay, this entertainment, sorry, this so this is the 2 login I created, Bula 1 and Bula 2, which if I should run this again, if I should run this script, it will show that it already exists. You can see that Bula 1 already exists, Bula 2 already exists. So then the same thing applies to sales order example. I created 2 no login, 1 for recipe 1, 1 for recipe 2, which let me get that out. So this is it, recipe 1, recipe 2. So then, because of time, I'll be a little bit fast so that I don't exceed my time. So now okay, let's go to 3. Say with okay, talking about the map, talking about and map them each to database. Let me, so map schema, so Bula 1 to member schema. So this is what I did here. I alter user 1 Bula with default schema to member. The same thing with this other one, members to Bula. I did that for all the database I choose of my choice. I have less than 2 minutes, so let me see, I can run that through. Then on the third part of it, they said the question said first create a DCL, data control language. You can choose whether you like the user to be authorized. So what I did on that aspect, so DC grants to assign for future users. I'm using entertainment DB for DC, so I created that too. This is my choice. I grant I grant DBO customer to entertainer 1, the same thing to entertainer 1. So then I create an update user role for entertainer 1. So then I also alter the role, add member, deny, delete on, db.customer to entertainer, and insert. So all this scenario works according to all these scripts. I created it according to the scenario that was involved in the assignment. So because of my time, I have to stop. Thank you.